Joe Biden's pick for vice president is being met with a lot of praise by Democrats, but others are already taking shots. President Trump says Kamala Harris will be bad for the country.
She's a big tax raiser. She's a big slasher of funds for our military, and she's got a lot of difficult things that she's going to have to explain.
The president and the GOP machine are already out with attack ads against Biden. In one, they're using Harris's own words against Biden. Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Chairman Matt Mackowiak and Democratic political strategist Natalie Montelongo. Thank you both for being here.
Sure.
Thanks so much for having me.
Natalie, on Fox News Channel, the president said Harris is the most liberal member in Senate, adding that if this is what the country needs, we've got problems. First, what do you make of that comment, and will that rhetoric resonate with voters who are on the fence?
Well, I think that right now Donald Trump and his allies are trying to use every attack they can. Just last week, Donald Trump said that Joe Biden was left of Bernie Sanders, and I think that would come as a shock to Senator Sanders. But here's the real deal. Right now, we are still struggling with a failed presidency. Under President Trump, there have been 160,000 American deaths under COVID. About 5 million people have been affected, and tens of thousands of people are now unemployed. I think when it comes down to it, normal everyday voters will not care about the words liberal or moderate. They're going to care about real changes and real policies put forth. And those are the changes that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are talking about right now. Putting people back to work, believing in facts and science. And I'm excited personally to see that he did choose Kamala Harris as his running mate.
Matt, in 2016, when President Trump selected Mike Pence as his running mate, you said VPs don't matter or didn't matter because people don't vote for vice president. Do you still stand by that, or does the Biden-Harris ticket have more appeal now for undecided voters?
Yeah, so I mean, just historically, we haven't seen a vice president make a big difference in the modern era. I mean, Al Gore, didn't deliver Tennessee for Bill Clinton in 2000, in 1992 as an example. And there are other examples. There are other examples that you could point to. I think the one example that in the last 75 years is maybe LBJ helping Kennedy win Texas. But outside of that, the examples where vice presidents made a difference have been extremely rare. The difference here is that there are significant questions about Joe Biden. He's been in his basement most of the last 3 months, not doing events, not doing interviews, not answering questions, not interacting with reporters. And so given his age, he'll be the oldest first-term president ever if he were to win. And given the questions about his capacity, this vice presidential choice is more consequential than ever before. And when you nominate the most liberal voting record in the current Congress and the second most liberal voting record in the previous Congress, according to voteview.org, that's gonna matter. Most people are not the most liberal person they know. Most people in the middle want someone who will look at an issue and decide a reasonable course and pathway forward. And I think Kamala Harris is going to double down the progressive direction the Democrats are going and the direction Biden's being pulled by the base of his party.
All right, we're running out of time, but I want to ask both of you, Natalie, what does the Biden-Harris campaign need to do to sway undecided voters?
I think they need to continue to talking about what everyday people need right now. They need economic mobility. Right now, small businesses are closing down faster than ever. They need access to health care. They need equitable education. They need equal pay. They need paid sick leave. All of these are priorities that are placed in the Democratic slate and in the policies that have been pushed forth by the Joe Biden campaign and the Harris campaign. And I think that's exactly what voters need and are looking for right now.
Matt, same question regarding Trump and Pence.
Yeah, it's important for Trump to make this a choice election. If it's just a referendum on him, it's going to be more difficult. If it's a choice between the direction he offers, rebuilding the economy, getting past coronavirus, rebuilding our military, conservative judges, that's a contrast he can win. Biden wants to take the country in a left-wing direction. Harris is going to put that on steroids.